Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Saturn and Taurus natally. This can also apply if you have Saturn in your second house as well. And always remember to check your aspects and the specifics of your birth chart when listening to this video. Now, so before I get into the video, I'm going to give a brief breakdown of what the Saturn energy is, the Taurus energy, and the second house energy is. So the Saturn energy is an energy of limitations, restrictions, karma. It shows your work ethic, things of that nature. Taurus and second house energy, they're very much so the same because Taurus rules the second house. So second house energy, Taurus energy, it has to do with money. It has to do with your inner security, your values, your self-esteem. And, it has to do with your ability to make money, the second house shows your way of making money. So there's that. And yeah. So okay, so when somebody has Saturn in Taurus, this is somebody that can have a lack mentality when it comes to money. So these people can have a lot of financial struggle in their life. Saturn isn't a planet that allows things to flow easily in your life. You really have to put in the work, and Saturn is really going to put that pressure on somebody with this placement to really gain security in their life. With Saturn and Taurus, somebody can feel very insecure when it comes to the material realm because Taurus rules this material realm. And, they could have a hard time really feeling comfortable in life and meeting their basic needs. These are the kind of people that could live paycheck to paycheck. They're not the kind of people to really indulge in a lot of material things. Somebody that has Saturn in Taurus, it makes them a very hard worker. These people really work hard for money. And that could be looked at as, both a positive and a negative thing, to where with Taurus energy is the kind of energy that is about, taking it easy, not doing too much and just keeping things very simple, especially when it comes to money. They just want money to enjoy. So oftentimes people with this placement, they feel like they can't really enjoy the finer things in life, and they feel like they have to work really hard to enjoy the finer things in life. But with that being said, these people are very hard workers when it comes to making money. Like Saturn will put the pressure on somebody to really make something of themselves and really be able to have their own things, own their own things. These are the kind of people who rarely get any help when it comes to money and securing themselves in life. These are the kind of people that really have to hustle hard to get what it is that they want. So, and I feel like with Saturn is a planet that rules time. And, with Saturn, it's the kind of energy that in the beginning stages, things will be very hard and, things won't come easy. But once you start breaking down those obstacles that Saturn is putting in front of you, and you start getting the hang of what, having Saturn and Taurus means, the issues with money will go away, like over time, as you mature throughout life. Somebody with Saturn in Taurus, they could suffer from depression. This is a placement that could indicate depression simply because Taurus is an energy of pleasure, and with Saturn and Taurus, it can restrict somebody from being able to pleasure themselves. whether it's in a material sense and even in a sexual sense, because, with that Venus energy of Taurus, you know, it has to do with sex and all of that stuff. So, somebody can struggle in this area when it comes to just being able to enjoy life. I feel like somebody with Saturn and Taurus, they could be a little serious when it comes to, just enjoying life, letting your hair down, just let go, relax. These people can be on edge a lot. And another thing that I wanted to mention with Saturn and Taurus, these are people that can be minimalists as well. Taurus is the kind of energy that likes to accumulate a lot of material items. So somebody with Saturn and Taurus, they can be a minimalist to where they're very restrictive when it comes to how much stuff that they have. They just struggle when it comes to feeling abundant in life. Taurus energy is represented in tarot by the Empress card. The Empress card has to do with abundance. So, they just feel like that's something that's hard to come by. They feel like money is hard to come by. They just feel like just overall feel good energy is just hard to come by for them, and it really just takes a lot of maturing and a lot of lessons before, they could just really relax in life when it comes to like finances, being a little bit more loose-handed when it comes to finances. Because somebody that has Saturn and Taurus, like, they could be very tight gripped when it comes to their money. They're not the type to just spend impulsively. These people are very cautious about how they spend their money and where their money is going. The lesson of Saturn here is to teach somebody how to utilize money in a wise way, because Saturn is a planet of wisdom. So how to utilize your money in a wise way. Put your money into things that will further progress you in life, especially when it comes to career. So invest in a business. Saturn is the energy of business. These people can make really great business investors, and really create really thriving, excelling businesses. So, and also just, invest in things of substance and things that will last you a long time, because Saturn is a planet that has to do with time. Saturn rules time. So really invest your money into things that are high quality and have a lot of value to you, to where you could keep these things for a long time. As I mentioned in the beginning, Saturn is a planet of karma. So with Saturn and Taurus, this will give you insight into your past life. So when your Saturn is in Taurus, like, this could indicate your karma when it comes to finances, your morals, your value systems, and your self-esteem. Most likely in your past life with this placement, you were most likely very irresponsible with money. You lacked maturity when it comes to your finances. You probably were very impulsive. You probably didn't invest in anything of substance. You probably just spent all your money on material items, things like that. Just really just wasting money left and right. And in this life, Saturn is really having you buckle down and be more mature when it comes to money. This is why you could struggle when it comes to matters of money, because Saturn is teaching you little by little, step by step, on how to properly handle money. This is why money comes to you, bit by bit. This is why Saturn and Taurus, they can struggle with, coming into big lump sums of money, because they already experienced that in a past life, most likely, and you didn't properly manage your money correctly. So in this life, Saturn is, having you take baby steps when it comes to matters of money. So when you do come into a lot of money, you know how to appreciate it. You know how to utilize it correctly. You know how to invest it in the right things. Okay? So the same goes for your value system, your self-esteem. I do believe that money isn't only a material thing. I do believe that our essence, because Venus, especially the feminine side of Venus, that is your essence, your energy. So I do believe that, your energy is also like money. So in this life, you're learning how to value your energy and not put your energy in people, places, and things that aren't worth it, that aren't of substance, that don't have any value, that aren't long lasting, that aren't going to help you progress in life. You're also learning that lesson in this life too, because your karma is from a past life. Maybe in a past life, you were the kind of person that agreed to any and everything, and you didn't really take your energy serious. You didn't take your time serious. You wasted your time doing a lot of things, being involved in a lot of things that really it just didn't matter. So, that's how Saturn works. It gives you insight into your past life, what could have went on. So, these are the themes that a Saturn in Taurus can experience, especially when it comes to the idea of power and control when it comes to money. You could have been the kind of person in your past life where you used money as a way to have authority over people, but in a negative way, to control people. So now you're on the receiving end of that. So you see how it works? These people can struggle with low self-esteem, because again, the second house energy, that Taurus energy, it has to do with your self-value and your self-esteem in yourself. So these people can struggle with that. They can often feel very down on themselves. And another thing with this placement too, since Taurus rules beauty, these people, they're very minimal in their appearance. You're just the kind of person that's very low maintenance, and that could be a good and a bad thing. It could be low maintenance in the sense like you're just very minimal with, your dress, your makeup and stuff, and you don't really do too much. Or it could be like you're literally low maintenance in the sense that you just let yourself go and you just don't give a fuck about how you be looking. So yeah, Saturn and Taurus can bring about that. Going back to how Saturn and Taurus people can struggle financially, I feel like somebody that has Saturn and Taurus, this can indicate like a poor upbringing, to where, they could have grew up poor. They were surrounded by those kinds of mentalities when it comes to finances. Like, Saturn and Taurus could be the kind of person who grew up hearing like, oh, don't waste this, or I don't have this, or this is too expensive. Those kinds of mindsets that really prevent you from, being abundant in life, So I feel like Saturn and Taurus, they could have been put at a disadvantage when it comes to finances, and the mindset of finances. These people could have grew up with a negative mindset when it comes to finances. They probably seen money as like a bad thing, or they could have seen money as, something that people utilize to like control you, or, they could have just seen money as like, it's only for the 1% of people, and like, those kinds of mentalities that really just keep the Saturn and Taurus person stuck. With this placement, I will say Saturn is challenging this person to break past those limitations and barriers when it comes to second house matters, when it comes to the self-esteem and the perception of money. Saturn has to do with elders and the authorities in your life, people that had authority over you. This could indicate somebody experiencing a fear when it comes to money. They probably grew up around people who were always in this fear frequency of like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to get this? And just worried about money all the time, those kinds of things. So with Saturn and Taurus, your lesson is to learn how to, I guess, not worry about money. I know it's easier said than done, but it takes a lot of lessons. I will say Saturn will present to you a lot of lessons that show you that there's nothing to fear and there's nothing to worry about. You have full authority when it comes to how you make your money. You could have grew up fearing that people were trying to take money from you, or fear that, or probably your elders probably made you fearful to have a lot of money due to, they made you feel like you were going to like change and be this, kind of person that they wouldn't like, if they had a lot of money. And, just these negative perceptions on money. This is something that a Saturn in Taurus is limited by in life, and they have to break out of these things, and they'll be able to have a more clear perspective on what finances are. Having a healthy self-esteem is. And also with Saturn and Taurus, especially if you have Saturn in the second house, this really indicates that you're somebody that has to own your own business, where it's like you're in control of the way you make money and how much money is coming in. Saturn will force these people to really work hard for the lifestyle that they want, because I feel like with Saturn and Taurus, these people deep down inside, like, these people really want the best in life, and I feel like, once they make it past those issues with self-esteem, self-doubt, they could be exceptional when it comes to their ability to make money in life and, really navigate this material realm. Somebody that has Saturn and Taurus, like, this placement gives me 4 of Pentacles energy in tarot, to where this person, like, they're very stingy with money. Like, you cannot ask them for no money because they ain't going to give you no money. Like, they're going to be very mistrusting of people who ask them for money, very cautious about, being giving. These people aren't very sparing when it comes to their money. These people like to keep their money to themselves. They could be very cheap. Not only with other people, but with themselves. They're not one for extravagance when it comes to money matters. And to summarize with Saturn and Taurus, especially when it comes to the upbringing that they had, overall, they just had like a very poor value system, to where, they struggled understanding what their value was. Maybe, they grew up around people who made them feel unvaluable, and just made them feel unworthy. These are the many lessons that a Saturn in Taurus has to work through in order to be an exceptional person in life. And lastly, with Saturn in Taurus, the kind of career, or I wouldn't say career, that's more so like the 10th house, even though Saturn rules the 10th house. But, Saturn in Taurus, this could indicate like a lot of your work efforts could go towards Taurian kind of matters. So you could be the kind of person that works in the beauty industry, or you could be somebody that can be like an accountant, to where you oversee people's money and, you're able to structure people's finances, things of that nature. So that is all I have for the placement of Saturn in Taurus. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave them down below. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.